Hello, what is up guys? Today I'm going to be talking about two things. First off though is this deck. So I decided I'm going to make alright, so let me just start off why I'm making this deck, okay? There's been a few streamers and a few Hearthstone players that are talking about how they don't feel like there's enough flashy plays in this game, they don't feel like there's enough combo decks, such and such, and overall what's being played right now I 100% agree with them, so I'm going to make one. I am honestly sick of these brainless tempo decks that just play things on curve and all this stuff. It's just boring as heck to play, boring as heck to play against. They're very predictable though, so maybe that'll be my edge. But decided to go with a more Miracle Rogue style assassin, which I think will be extremely fun. So let's try to make this work. Basically, I can't remember the exact deck building process, even though I did it pretty early ago. And remember, this is theorycraft. This is completely rough draft. It's subject to change very quickly. After I play quite a few games, I probably will change around with it. Right now, it's 4-2. Honestly, my two losses are due to just not being able to deal with drains, which is pretty freaking annoying. And guys just playing their minions on curve, playing their drain minions, such and such. Obviously, I have my curse, I have my lesser ward. Magicka spells are just so good in the spell synergies. Firebolt is just so good. It's such a strong card in the meta right now. Shadow Shift is one that many people might not run, but I think Shadow Shift's really strong. Once again, it's an action, which is really good. It has the synergies, but also it's just a really, really strong spell. If they put down, 1-2 lethal guard guy, you can just Shadow Shift your guy over, and then you have a 3-3 hitting them in the face, and they can't do anything about it, and have to play another card to deal with it. Really just allows their low attack minions that are really no threat, and you're okay with them hitting you in the face. You kind of want them to in most cases. Navigator, obviously, with all these actions, he's absolutely insane. You have a very high chance of drawing a card. Crystal Tower Crafter, she's who she is. She's just really strong with all these actions once again. Finish Off, it's good enough. I'm only running as a 2 of. I might end up cutting this one. Finish Off is probably not that great. It's pretty cool though. It's just cool to throw out a Finish Off whenever if like there's a huge guard or something and you just curse it and then finish off. It's really strong. Ice Spike, for obvious reasons. Cycle damage. This game doesn't have very much card draw, so just cycle in general is pretty nice. Crushing Blow, obvious reasons. 3 damage burn, could you be used to remove early game if you need to. Cunning Ally, she's just really solid. I'm running quite a bit of blue in this deck. Still more blue than green, but I am running quite a bit of green, admittedly so. Telvanni Arcanist, I don't have a third one. Might try a third one if I had it. Cut 1 Thievery for it, but right now I only have 2. He's just really strong in this deck. He's a 3-2 for 3, obviously, and he draws you an action, which is really good synergistic-wise. That action, like a lot of times there's actions you don't want to put in this deck that could be really good in most cases. Moment of Clarity is almost runnable, actually. I might even try it eventually. Just because there's some actions you can't put in your deck quite they just barely don't make the cut, and in certain cases they're just really strong. Like there's some games where you actually want things like Nest of Vipers with Astromancer. Like think about it, Nest of Vipers with Astromancer, it's 10 Magicka, clear half a board, deal 2, 4, 6, 8 damage. Okay, so that's pretty insane for 10 Magicka. Nest of Vipers is insane with Astromancers. So it's a really cool combo, and you can't do that normally because Nest of Vipers just barely doesn't make the cut, so you'd rather run like Arcanist to possibly get it. Thievery, I'm running 3. Thievery is actually just really strong. It's that little bit of heal against aggro, it's that little bit of burn, it's that little bit of whatever you need. Sadly, this is the biggest thing I wish this deck had, was just a guy that lets you transfer spells into card draw, and there isn't anything that does that. There's that little Shimmermind Peddler, but he does it at the end of your turn 1 card. If you play 2 spells, it's not even playable in this deck, to be honest with you. I really just wish there was a way to transfer my spells into card draw. If I could do that, this deck would be so amazing, it would be so fun, but I can't do it. So unfortunately, right now, this deck's not quite, like, when I even just theory crafting and testing it out, I don't feel like it's like, going to be ever like top tier, but I think it's just a really fun deck and it's solid. So that's the only thing that matters to me. I'm sick of playing freaking on tempo decks. I really am. They're just the most boring decks in the game. They're the most boring decks in every card game, in my opinion. Lightning Bolt, obviously. Lightning Bolt. You run 3 of them in every blue deck. It's the strongest prophecy in the game. One of the strongest spells in the game. So especially in a spell synergy deck, you're gonna run it. Lilandril Hexmage. I mean, obvious reasons. She's a huge burn engine. She allows you to transfer your spells into more burn, which is nice. I wish it was card draw, but burn's okay, I guess. She's a solid card. Winter's Grass is something that some of you might not see in these decks usually. But as you can see, actually I should get into Winter's Grass a little bit later. Actually, I guess I can just go ahead and just say it right now. Basically, one, it's really solid if you have like a good, like, alright, so this deck kind of smashes together kind of well. Because basically, if you get the nuts draws early and you have the Tower Crafters going off and she's a really huge minion, she's going to win you the game all by herself, you can just Winter's Grass and do that way. If you're trying to just stall into Astromancer, Smuggler's Hall to get some low-cost minions to play with Astromancer, you can do that. If you're far behind and you're in top deck mode and the enemy's playing all these huge minions and they have a billion drains and it's like Brain Dead playing all their cards, you can just Winter's Grasp and then you can stall until you get that last little bit of burn to win the game. Stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So that's what that card's for. Ransack. Ransack's just really strong. Once again, really strong spell, really good in this deck. Has the spell synergy, it's a prophecy, so we don't have very many prophecies in this deck at all. We have, what, Lightning Bolt, this, and that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. So, really not that many prophecies in this deck, so it's nice to have at least a few to get that chance of coming back against aggro, but there really isn't much aggro in this game at all, so usually Ransack just uses a 6 Magicka, deal 3 damage, heal 3, which is still okay. Smuggler's Hall, it's the MVP of this deck. There's so many things Smuggler's Hall does. Treat it like a, what's that card called? It's like Catalyst Tome or something from Hearthstone, where you draw 3 random mage spells or something like that. Treat it like that, basically, except in this game, it can also get you items, which are still okay, like the O3 shield. Alright, first off, the minions are absolutely insane because you can play them with Astromancer and do tons more burn damage. They fit perfectly in this deck. Actions, obvious reasons, are good. Lesser wards, curses, all that's insane in this deck. The silence is insane. All of that's insane. And then you can also get the little O3 shield, which I'll have some of you, not a lot of you I hope, but some of you might be like, well, that's useless. Not really. You can play it alongside like Tazgad. You can play it on him, and then there's a huge guard or something. You can get him just barely enough to where he'll survive, and they have to deal with 2 sticky bodies. You can put it on, I mean, really, like anyone, to get them out of Lightning Bolt range, Ice Storm range, etc., etc. It's just an insane card. Tazgad, this is one guy I might end up cutting later, but for now he's okay. Like, I might cut him for a 3rd Supreme Astromancer, maybe. Right now he doesn't really do too much. There was one game where I played him, and he came in handy with the shields, like I said, but the issue was I ended up losing that game anyways. Like, he really didn't do much. But it was a cool combo with him and such. Smuggler's Hall did a lot more than he did. Supreme Astromancer, obvious reasons running her. It's a burn deck once again. The late game burn's really nice. There's not enough early game to really justify not running some late game win condition. Like, you're going to run out of steam eventually, and it's just not going to be pretty. She does so much. Why am I running green-blue over yellow-blue? That's because yellow had so many useless cards. Healing Potion and a burn deck's complete crap. I don't know why that's being ran. I saw that on Legends decks when I first looked at the theorycraft this, and I was looking at some ideas. Healing Potion's terrible in this deck. In any kind of burn deck. Like, there was no reason to run Healing Potion. Unless the entire meta is aggro, and that's all it is aggro, there's no reason to run Healing Potion. And aggro is the least played deck of them all. I probably run into aggro once every 100 games. Okay, that's how lowly played it is. So Healing Potion is a 0 out of 10 card right now. The 4/4 Paladin was also played in yellow. Once again, I think he's a useless card, especially in this meta. Yeah, he's good against aggro, but like aggro's never played, so what's the point of playing him? And then there was Javelin. The Javelin's nice. That was a really nice card in this deck. But I don't think Javelin alone is reason enough to run yellow. And I was running like Blackmail as well, just to get a little bit more like synergy. And Blackmail is not very good. So I decided, why not freaking run green? Because green's a million times better than yellow in this deck. So I decided to run green. Now, that's the idea of the deck. That's the theorycraft. Hope you guys can take it and run away with it, make some cool ideas with it and such. I think it's a really fun deck, basically the Miracle Rogue of this game. I'm going to try to perfect it, make it work, make a cool deck, prove everyone that said Smuggler's Hall is complete crap is completely wrong, and they are. But also, people who say Kinsman's completely broken, never put Kinsman in this deck. He's terrible in this deck. So I want to prove those guys wrong as well. Especially the guys that are like, you're running Kinsman, I'm not, you're gonna win. Like, no, just no. But yeah, so play the deck if you like, Miracle Rogue style in Hearthstone, and I'm going to try to refine it, perfect it. This is the theorycraft stage, as I said, so I can't wait to get back to you guys whenever I'm done refining it and such. And I'm going to take quite a few games to refine it. I've only played 6 games so far, and 4 and 2 at the moment. I think I said that earlier. And then the other message I wanted to give just real quick is I made my own Discord. The idea of the Discord is a lot of people have been pretty overall toxic in the Reddit community and the general Discord. So in my Discord, they're would typically trying to only invite people that are generally nice guys, generally nice to each other, generally just love to talk about the game. Like as you can see, I have some rules. You can't talk about NDA stuff, which don't worry about that. Pretty much for most of you, no racism, hitting each other, BM, or spamming for nurse or complaining, which is pretty much 99% of Reddit and Discord. So if you're gonna come in and do that, I'm gonna ban you. And last rule, just be yourself, have fun with each other, PM me anytime if you want to talk. Welcome to the community. Like I said, break rule number 1 and 2, I will not hesitate to ban you. Ignore the kick from turning, that's for later. But, and here's the reason why we did. Yeah, the normal Discord, and as you can see, like there's things like this, it's pinned. Is this where we come to get away from the new toxic players? Seems like it. Cool. So yeah, thank you guys for watching another video. Hope you have a great night, great day, wherever you're from, as my good friend Sean would say, and I love you all.